The North Sea has always been a treacherous place, unforgiving, unpredictable, and unrelenting. But one morning recently, something far more terrifying than its icy waves or violent storms unfolded beneath the gloomy sky. A massive oil tanker sat anchored in the open sea, its cargo hold brimming with hundreds of thousands of barrels of highly flammable jet fuel, enough to set the sea ablaze if something went wrong. A short distance away, a container ship cruised steadily along its route. Then, out of nowhere, disaster struck. A sudden jolt, a deafening explosion, and then fire. Flames exploded into the sky. Crew members gripped by panic scrambled for survival, desperately launching lifeboats as flames engulfed the ships. As the tanker burned, jet fuel seeped into the ocean, poisoning everything in its path. Days later, thousands of plastic pellets, suspected to have come from the container ship, began washing up on nearby beaches, posing a serious threat to birds and marine life. What really happened? How did this seemingly routine voyage turn into an environmental catastrophe? This is the story of the North Sea oil tanker disaster, one of the worst maritime disasters in recent times. Before we start, please take a second to click on that subscribe button, as it's the best way to support this channel. The MV Stena Immaculate loomed over the waters of the North Sea, a steel giant resting silently in the cold, open expanse. Owned by an American shipping company, the massive oil tanker carried a volatile cargo, 220,000 barrels of jet fuel, bound for a U.S. military base. The sea was deceptively calm, but beneath the stillness, the treacherous currents of the North Sea whispered their warnings. This was no ordinary stretch of ocean. It was a maritime crossroads, where dozens of vessels carved their paths through the same unpredictable waters. A while later, another ship approached. The MV Solong, a Portuguese-flagged container ship, plowed forward, its massive hull laden with cargo, possibly carrying millions of plastic pellets destined for industries worldwide. The vessel was traveling along a well-worn trade route near the East Yorkshire coast of England, an area notorious for its dense maritime traffic. Then, in the morning hours of March 10, 2025, something went. The Stena Immaculate remained anchored, waiting for clearance to continue its journey. But the MV Solong was moving fast. It should have passed smoothly, continuing on its course. But suddenly, the ship veered off track. Was it a mechanical failure, a navigation error, or was it human negligence? No one knew yet. What they did know was that within seconds, the massive cargo ship was on a collision course. At 10 a.m., the MV Solong smashed directly into the side of the MV Stena Immaculate, ripping open the tanker's hull like a tin can. The impact instantly ignited thousands of barrels of jet fuel, creating an inferno so intense that it could be seen from the English coastline. The explosion sent shrapnel and flames shooting into the air, followed by a deafening roar that reverberated across the waves. Alarms rang on both vessels. Crew members scrambled for safety and frantically launched lifeboats in a desperate bid to escape the blaze. On board the MV Solong, fires broke out and panic took over. The crew had no time to react before the heat became unbearable. The ship's cargo buckled under the heat, their contents melting and spilling into the ocean, adding another layer of catastrophe to the unfolding disaster. The emergency distress signal went out immediately, picked up by the UK Coast Guard and nearby vessels. Within minutes, rescue helicopters and patrol boats were dispatched to the burning wrecks, but the mission was far from simple. The heat from the flames was so intense that it melted steel and boiled the seawater around the ship. Some sailors, desperate to escape, jumped into the oil-slicked water, only to realize they were swimming through toxic fuel. Through the thick smoke and roaring fire, rescue teams fought to save the crew members. Helicopters hovered above, lowering baskets to pluck survivors from the burning decks. Small lifeboats maneuvered dangerously close to the flames, pulling injured men from the water. It was a battle against the elements, against time, and against the very nature of the disaster itself. Of the 37 crew members between the two ships, 36 were rescued, some with severe burns, others coughing up thick black smoke. But one man never made it out. His name was Mark Angelo Pernia, a 38-year-old sailor from the Philippines. As the fires raged, Mark was last seen struggling to escape the inferno on the MV Solong, but then he was gone. Search efforts continued for days, but Mark was never found and is presumably dead. The fires continued to burn for hours, consuming what remained of the MV Solong, and leaving the MV Stena immaculate with a gaping wound in its hull. But even after the flames were extinguished, a new horror was emerging, one that couldn't be fought with helicopters and lifeboats. The collision had ruptured one of the oil tanker's cargo tanks, spilling 17,515 barrels of jet fuel into the North Sea. Jet fuel initially floats on the surface, but due to its lower viscosity and higher volatility, it evaporates quickly, especially in warm temperatures, and can mix with water more easily than crude oil, poisoning everything it touches. Marine biologists and environmentalists sounded the alarm. This was a disaster that could devastate marine life for years to come. The North Sea is home to countless species of fish, seabirds, and marine mammals, all of which were now at risk. Then came another terrifying realization. The MV Solong was possibly carrying tons of plastic pellets, tiny, lightweight beads used in manufacturing. The impact had sent them pouring into the ocean, and within days, they began washing up on British beaches. Local residents were horrified. Shorelines in Norfolk, Yorkshire, and beyond were covered in a white film of nurdles, barely visible to the untrained eye, but deadly to seabirds that mistook them for food. What had started as a shipping accident finally turned into an ecological nightmare. As the rescue and cleanup efforts continued, the search for answers began. Investigators from the UK's Marine Accident Investigation Branch, the International Maritime Organization, and multiple environmental watchdog groups launched an immediate probe into what went wrong. One of their first priorities was recovering the voyage data recorders from both ships. These devices store vital information about a vessel's speed, trajectory, and crew communications in the moments leading up to an incident. If the VDRs survived the explosion and fire, they could provide crucial evidence about what really happened. Investigators also began interviewing the surviving crew members from both ships, collecting testimony about what they saw, heard, and did in the final moments before impact. As details started emerging, one name quickly surfaced in the global headlines: Captain Vladimir Motin, the 59-year-old Russian commander of the MV Solong. Authorities wasted no time. Within days of the collision, Motin was arrested and charged with gross negligence manslaughter. Reports suggested that at the time of the crash, the MV Solong was operating on autopilot, and no one in the crew had taken corrective action to prevent the tanker from veering off course. The international shipping industry held its breath. Would Motin be found guilty? Would both shipping companies be forced to pay billions in damages? And most importantly, how could future disasters like this be prevented? At the time of this video's production, salvage crews are still working to assess the fate of the two ships. While Stena Immaculate remains afloat, experts are unsure whether it can be repaired or must be scrapped. The MV Solong, on the other hand, may be beyond saving. Meanwhile, the environmental impact of the disaster is still being felt. Cleanup crews continue to remove plastic pellets from beaches, but the tiny fragments have already made their way into fish and seabirds. Also, the legal battle is just beginning, and it could take years before justice is fully served. This disaster has ignited discussions about the future of maritime safety, particularly in high-traffic shipping routes. Several key takeaways have emerged from this catastrophe. New safety regulations are already being discussed. The shipping industry is re-examining its use of autopilot systems. Environmental groups are demanding stricter laws on transporting hazardous materials. And governments are scrambling to prevent another disaster like this from ever happening again. But for the families of those who suffered, for the oceans now drenched in fuel, and for the wildlife struggling to survive, the damage has already been done, and no amount of money No punishment and no new law can ever undo what happened that morning on the cold waters of the North Sea.